And for sure, you might have your own personal definition of what the answer is of a good, high-quality team. Sometimes it is a group of individuals who have a high quality of ability to disagree with each other. They can be quite, with lots of feeling, arguing back and forth, but still walk away from a meeting and feel comfortable that they have worked hard to come to some agreement. They're comfortable sharing different roles when the group meets and talks together. And the principal is comfortable letting teachers feel like they have a real say in what's going on. So one of the things that is quite typical as a problem in a school in Ohio is these piles of data are collected and show up on the teacher's desk and the principal's desk. We often joke about reports that sit up on a shelf. And very often groups will say, I need more data before I can make a decision. And they keep collecting more data. But in fact, you have to force yourself and you have to work as a team to stop every once in a while and make a decision, to make a plan and put it into action. And it is very clear that the plan will not be perfect and that in the middle of taking action you might have an idea about how to change it. So in English we play with this phrase that on Monday morning I have to do something. And it means that I can't spend the entire month of October trying to figure out what I'm going to do. I have to make a plan, take a chance, and put something into action. And when I make a plan, a couple of things cause us a lot of trouble. The problem is similar to deciding who's going to sit in the front of a room. I speak to groups all the time, and this group is quite scared. They are the last chairs to fill. They're nervous about how close I'm going to get to them, and Bogdan is afraid I'm going to ask him to do something. And in fact, when a team meets together, they feel all the same things. They'll do lots of analysis of data. Here's what I think is going on. But when I say, okay, what are we going to do? I will get ideas from a group, but almost always the idea will be about someone else doing something. So we try and convince groups of people to do something very simple. We take a piece of paper and we put task at the top. What will we do? We divide the task into parts. We make sure there's a part for every single person sitting on the team, and they each leave with some responsibility. We identify what resources do they need to be able to do that. And again, quite often it will happen that someone will say, I don't have what I need, or I would do it. And again, we walk away and we'll say, okay, we'll argue with someone about getting you things, but what can you do right now with what you have? And then we ask them, how will we know that they did it? What will we see? What piece of data do they think they're going to impact? So again, if we use Jeff's example from his school, if we have a team of teachers and principal working on reading scores, we're going to have to take that very big problem and get it down to a very small level. I'm going to work in my classroom to meet with every student once a week and hear them read to me. And I'm going to keep track on a piece of paper, a formative assessment, how I think they're doing. And again, the teacher's going to say, I don't have time. What if I don't get to all the children? Jeff always causes trouble in my room and I can't work with someone else while he's over there causing trouble. And the principal is going to be very angry at me if I don't get to every single student. So this simple task of dividing this up takes an enormous amount of trust. We're going to share ownership, we're going to share accountability. So one phrase that we use in English is called progress monitoring. And we put progress back in our word bank there because we have lots of debates. We have lots of debates what we mean by progress. And again, as Jeff mentioned, it might be by individual student that we measure progress. At the end, we don't really end. And it used to be described as a cycle that we just kept going through the steps. And for sure that is not true.
So for my building alone, empowering the teachers means that they all have a voice in the decisions that are going on in my building. So for example, we have a building leadership team, we call it, and there is a teacher from every single grade level on the team. So that way we ensure that everyone has an equal voice in the decision-making process for the school. And so, but one of the things I always say is I will get their input. I don't give up all of the power. I want things to be a team decision, but sometimes people can't agree on everything. Of course, there are times when the principal has to make the final decision. So that's what we always have to say, that if we don't agree, we just have to agree to disagree. So along with this whole thing of giving the teachers a little bit more power, is I'm really big on trying to give them more opportunities to learn how to use this responsibility. So for example, they may be the lead person on several committees or clubs, and they have full responsibility for that. I don't have any involvement in that, except for at the end or sometime during it, I'll just say, how's it going? Is everything good? And it's that trust in the teachers that it helps build a relationship with them, that I'm giving them full responsibility and full power for something. And one of my favorite things that I've learned over the years is, like, if someone came to me with a problem, when I first was a principal, I would just take the problem from them and try to solve it. And it got to be that I was taking on everybody's problems and trying to solve everything. And so now my teachers have learned that I will ask them, when they have a problem, I will ask them, how do you think you should solve this? And after we have a short discussion, I will say, okay, so you're going to do this and this, and then report back to me and let me know how that worked out. So in the end, I'm not only empowering them, but I'm also supporting them. So, and one last real life example, while I'm here at the conference, I contacted other schools in my district. I contacted them to see if there were teachers in their buildings that were interested in becoming principals. So I made an effort to make a list of those teachers, and they are taking turns filling in as an acting principal for me. So this is just trying to give them some real life experience and just kind of sharing the power with them. It will go a long way with building the relationship. Okay, my personal role is I am the educational leader of the building. So, but part of that is giving up some of the power, like I said, over the academic area sometimes. And I should tell you that I'm not your normal everyday principal of all the schools. I try to spend the least amount of time in my office that I can. I make an effort to visit every classroom every day. And I make an effort, I can tell you, I know every student's name in my building. So it's just, it helps establish that relationship with the students, the teachers, and everyone. Other parts of my responsibility are dealing with the community. And I have learned over the years to try to use the media to help me, such as our webcam here. But when we have special events, I will commonly invite people from the community in or the media stations to help promote our events. So what I would say is, in my job, two of the biggest things that I try to make a point to do, in addition to like student discipline and the academics and all of those things, is to create a positive school environment and develop positive relationships with my students and my staff and my parents. I can tell you those two things alone have helped me with all other areas in my school once you establish those relationships with people.